Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Welcome to Holistic Lifestyle Tips, Getting Real About the Woo Woo. I am Becky Russell, owner of wellness company Hope Essential, and I am a holistic lifestyle educator and an essential oil educator. I love to teach. And I have been living a holistic lifestyle for over 25 years and feel it served me well. And I want to share what I've learned and will continue to learn. I'm a lifetime learner, and I want to have a quality of life as I age, and that's what I want for all of you as well. And I truly believe a holistic lifestyle is the key to that. And when I found the essential oils, it was just a perfect fit because I believe you need to limit the amount of chemicals you put on and in your body in order to have that quality of life as you age as well. So just a perfect fit. And I came up with this idea to do a weekly series because I think people have a misconception about what holistic means and who it's for. And it's really for anyone who has an open mind about approaching their wellness in a different way. So instead of the disease treatment model that we know, uh, holistic means treating the entire body, mind, body, and soul from the inside out and not just treating symptoms. So it's more proactive and preventative. I saw how treating chronic disease the traditional way was not, it's not how I want to age. And the quality of life is awful when you're on a lot of medications. There's no hope of reversing anything. It's just, to me, a very hopeless kind of existence. And I didn't want that. And I'm genetically predisposed to a chronic condition. So, uh, a chronic illness. So it, I had to find another way. And this is what I've chosen. And I just want to share it with you. And I came up with this idea for every week. I talk about emotional wellness or physical wellness or spiritual wellness because we need all three to be balanced. Sometimes the topic encompasses one or two or all three. Tonight, week 41, I can't believe it's been that many. We are going to talk about emotional and spiritual wellness and about the subject of enabling. And you may think that's an odd choice because everyone knows what it is and you shouldn't do it. And where's the discussion? Well, I found that I had some misconceptions about what enabling meant in my own life younger, years ago. And I had to learn the hard way what it actually meant. So I always like to start with a definition. So someone else will always fix, solve, or make the consequences go away. That's what happens when you enable someone. That's the impression you give them that they don't have to take responsibility. And when I realized that after doing my research, when I encountered a situation personally, well, several, but personally, I thought it was all about the other person. And if they would just listen, if they would just do what I said, if they would just da 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 da, and not realizing I was part of the dance. The other thing I want to talk about that is very closely related is codependency. And that is talked about, with enabling because they go together. And I was a little confused because I thought codependency and enabling just referred to alcohol or drug addiction problems. And that wasn't something I personally was dealing with. So I didn't really connect that enabling was the problem. But here's the definition I found, one definition I found for codependency. It's a behavioral condition in a relationship where one person enables another person's addiction, poor mental health, immaturity, irresponsibility, or underachievement. That really threw me because I thought it was just about addiction, and it's not. So that opened my mind to seeing, oh, yeah, that is the dance I'm in. I had no idea. It's empowering to understand what's going on. It's not easy then to take the action, but you have to understand what's going on before you can figure out what to do. And that's what I hope to do, is to give you, to empower you, to give you all these different choices. I don't want you to just take my word for things. I want to open the door, give you a glimpse of another option or something maybe you haven't thought of or know about, and then you do your research. I don't know everything, obviously. I don't have all the answers, but I sure do keep looking. So, but do your own research. And that was really eye-opening for me, was that the enabling the codependency was not strictly related to just addiction problems. So what, how do we, we want to help, right? So what do we do? How do we make this work? Well, like I said, first you have to know you are part of that dance. So here's some questions to ask yourself, to see if maybe you are an enabler. Do you often ignore unacceptable behavior? Do you find yourself resenting the responsibilities you take on? That could be an example of that, could be, say, a sibling. Um, it's a pattern, not just one time. It's a pattern that they can't pay their rent or pay their car payment because they can't keep a job. And so you feel compelled to pay for their cell phone or pay for their car payment because you know they can't have a job if they don't have those things. So you rationalize all that. But then you resent at times too that you are, you know, you don't have to, but you are choosing to take care of it. And you constantly put your own needs and desires aside in order to help someone else. So maybe that same sibling, you're at lunch with a friend you haven't seen in a long time, and you're having the greatest time, and your phone rings or you get a text and you see who it is and you're like, oh no, what now? And because it's a pattern, and that you have a choice. Do you let that ruin your day, your plans, or do you go run off and rescue? Do you have trouble expressing your own emotions? Do you ever feel fearful that not doing something will cause a blow up, make the person leave you, or even result in violence? That may be more of an addiction type scenario, but the fear that someone will disown you, or whether it's a family member or a friend, it could be a best friend that, or not even you know, maybe it is a real good friend. And that makes it even harder to say no when they have this chaos in their life and they're constantly needing your help. Do you ever lie to cover someone else's mistakes? Do you consistently assign blame for problems to other people rather than the one who is responsible? Say your best friend can't keep a job, and they're blaming their insensitive boss, and you feel like you need to take her side, and yet she's missed how many days of work, she's always late. So you can get caught up in that because you don't want to lose that friendship and you want to support them. And do you continue to offer help when it's never appreciated or acknowledged? That's probably one of my downfalls. I am very loyal and very stubborn. I don't want to give up on people. I want to basically will them to do what's going to help them, and that doesn't work. So what do you do then? How do you get out of this mess? By setting boundaries. You can limit the amount of time you're with them. You can listen with empathy, but stop there. So you don't want to um, try to fix things. That's not your job. Uh, Practice polite refusals. So in that situation with the sibling who needs you to come rescue them, um, I'm sorry, but I'm tied up right now. I'm sure you'll find a way to get home. It's hard to do, believe me. It is. It's tough love, and it is so hard, but it is so necessary. Uh, Question yourself before you do something. Ask yourself the following questions: Why am I doing this? Do I want to, or do I feel I have to? Will this drain any of my resources? Uh, if you're constantly bailing out your sibling with rent or car payment, and then that's hurting your personal finances, that's a problem. Will I still have energy to meet my own needs? People that are in this constant chaos are exhausting. And when you love them, you want to help them, and you can't if they don't help themselves. You can only control your own actions. And so you have some things you can do to, aside from boundaries. Obviously, if there's any kind of physical danger or if it's a serious threat, then you need, more than boundaries. You need to talk to someone. You need therapy, counseling. I love therapy. I would go every week, every month if I could. I've always felt better when I left. It's wonderful to have someone objective to talk to that doesn't automatically either take your side or not take your side. I You find the right person, it's invaluable. I love it. And this is your mental emotional wellness that we're talking about. So don't say you can't afford it. Find a way because it's super, super important. Um, if it's something you feel you just need some guidance on, I research like crazy. I love reading books. I love talking to people, but just be careful who you get your advice from because sometimes it's someone that's not any more equipped than you. But you can, if it's a minor thing like the irresponsibility or the immaturity and things like that. You can talk about problems to get new perspectives with each other. You can listen to their problems, their troubles or worries, but you don't try to fix them. You just listen. You can discuss possible solutions with them rather than for them. So you can do some brainstorming, but you don't come up with the solutions. You can offer suggestions or advice when asked, then step back to let them make their own decision. This is a hard one for me. I have control issues. I'm better, but back when I was younger and found this holistic lifestyle, I wanted to share it with people that weren't in the same, you know, place as me. And they didn't want to hear it. And I just thought if I just explain it better, if I just make them understand, and it just was threatening relationships. And so I learned to only offer my opinion if it was asked for. And really that's any subject, any relationship. It's really good because I saw a big change in how my relationships improved when I just listened more and did not offer advice unless asked. And, just keep asking questions. Do you feel that's what you deserve? How does that make you feel? Sort of playing the therapist, but, you know, just helping them think. And then offer compassion and acceptance. And sometimes that's hard to do because you're a little angry with those decisions, but it's super important. And again, seek the experience of someone, in the profession, therapy, counseling that can offer you expert advice. And I've I've done other episodes on different modalities, so you can find the previous episodes on my website, hopeessential.com, and I also have a YouTube channel. You can find all of them, and you can just look at what the titles are and see what some of those modalities are that might help. And I would love to know if you had any ahas tonight, if anything resonated with you. The one thing I want to leave you with is that my biggest takeaway when I realized I was part of that dance was that the message you are giving that person is you don't have faith in them that they can do it themselves, that they can handle their situation. And that's not what my intention ever is, because I'm all about empowering people. And when I realized, despite not being my intention, that that's the message that is being given, that is being heard, that they do not have the faith, the ability to handle it. And when I read that and realized that's what was being received, I knew it had to stop. So I would love to hear if you found this helpful, if you have any experiences yourself with this kind of thing and any advice you'd like to share. And be sure and check out my business page on Facebook, Hope Essential LLC. And you'll find all my events and educational tips. So till next time, choose you, choose natural, choose now.